Gorgeous sunny day down here on the boat. In this video we're going to be showing you how to change your supercharger oil in your Volvo Penta, KAD or other supercharged diesel marine engines, so make sure you stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, as I mentioned, we're going to be changing the oil, the synthetic compressor oil in our KAD44 diesel engines. It's the same on the KAD42, 43, 32 and probably many other KAD or Volvo Penta diesel engines. If you're new to the channel and this is your first time, welcome aboard. We'd love to have you on here regularly, so make sure you hit that subscribe and bell notification so you can see whenever we post a new video. So as I say, this is the oil we're going to change. It says to change it every 400 hours, but because there wasn't a lot of service history when we bought our boat, I want to try and get it to a level where we can then maintain it. So trying to get that baseline of maintenance so that we can keep on top of it. We've got about 800 hours on the clock, so technically it should have already been done once, but as I say, we're going to do it now so that we've got that level set to then move forward. So let's go take you down and show you the tools we need to start this job and then actually the job in hand. So let's get over to that now. So let's get everything out that we're going to need to do this job. We need a pot to capture the old oil. We need a 14mm spanner. We need a syringe that can hold up to 100mm. The superchargers hold 100ml each. And then you need a pot of this stuff. This is super expensive Volvo synthetic compressor oil. This comes in a 250ml pot, and that's enough obviously to do 2 compressors and 50ml left over, which you're probably going to throw in the bin. So those are the 4 components we need to do the job. Let's get down in the engine bay and take a look at where the drain plug is and where the fill nozzle is. So here is the supercharger. It's on the top right of your engine. You can see it's got the great big belt here and the clutch on the front. And there's 2 bolts that we're looking at. The one here on the top, that is the fill and the dipstick, and then the one here you can see on the bottom, this is the drain. That's where we're going to drain it out from. Okay, so first things first, we need to loosen off the dipstick so that we don't get an airlock inside there. Be careful, there's a little copper washer there. You probably want to get a new one. They're sort of 60 or 70p, and replace that when you're doing it, and the same on the drain plug. So we're going to loosen this off first, take the dipstick out, and then we're going to loosen off the bottom one, drain the oil out, and then put that back in, and then refill from the top using the syringe. So let's get on to that. So here is the dipstick in the top. So if you ever want to check your level of your oil in your supercharger, you can see it there with the hatch markings on it. So that's the dipstick. There's a copper O-ring as well on that, so make sure you don't lose that when you take it out. And then on the bottom here is the drain plug. So we're just going to undo that and drain the oil out of the supercharger or compressor, as sometimes they're called. So let's just undo that. Try not to drop it into the pot, it's going to be a bad thing. And there is all of the oil coming out. So we're just going to let that drain, and then we'll put some nice new oil in there. Right, so we've drained it all out now, got the old oil out, put the drain plug back in, tighten that up, and now it's time to stick our oil, our synthetic compressor oil, in. So we need 100ml of this, give it a good shake, and we're going to pour this into our syringe to 100ml. So I'm going to just put my finger over the end and fill this up to 100ml, like a doctor injecting the patient some vital fluids. Right, that's 100ml. So we now need to try and get this in without squirting it everywhere. It's going to be a challenge. So let's try and upturn that. You can see, ooh, there we go. See the difference in colour compared to the old one. I'm not sure. I mean, I have no idea when it was last changed. They say every 400 hours is I think the service interval that Volvo Penta say. It's 24 quid for a bottle, so it's not hard to change. A couple of bolts and fill up your syringe. So I think we're doing it a bit more regularly. I think, seeing as it's a simple enough job and it's pretty low cost. So right, so let's just prime that. So there we go, there's our syringe with 100 ml, and I'm just going to squirt that into, well not squirt it, pour it into the top of the compressor. So let's do that now. Okay, as always, trying to film and with one hand and do a job with another hand. And I must apologise for the noise you can hear in the background. I'm ride-aligning the other engine at the moment, so I'm just doing some other jobs while that's going. So let's pop that in the top there. That went reasonably well. And then we'll just squirt that down into our compressor. There we go. I'm going to go leave it a little bit left in the bottom of the syringe and just check the level first. It's easier to add a bit more than it is to take a bit away. I mean, taking the bottom out and draining it all out again. So let's just check the level now with the dipstick. Now, as far as the manual says, I believe the dipstick should be screwed in to check the level. So I'm going to do that now, and we'll just check that. And there we go. I don't know if you can see that, but you can. There's a kind of hatch marking, and we are right sitting beautifully on the top of that hatch marking. So we get this to focus. There it is. So you can see the oil just sitting right at the top of that hatch marking. So that's just about perfect in my mind. So let's put the dipstick back in, check everything's nice and tight, and then we obviously need to run the engines up, make sure everything's nice and happy. Now on the KADs, the superchargers run up at startup until the engines get to about 40 degrees and they kind of cut out. So obviously check to make sure that's working. We're on the river obviously, so it's very hard for us to kind of test at full power whether everything's working, but certainly to say the superchargers do work from cold. So there we go, simple and easy change, £25, and giving your superchargers some nice new vital fluids to keep them in tip-top condition. Hope you found the video useful. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.